here first. First time I've been tall in my life. Love it. I want one of these at home. So I'm Angie and I'm representing BAPIA today and also demonstrating obviously for GEMAR. The display I'm going to do is on one of their new display kits, and it literally is the hoop with the stand. You get everything you need in the box. One of the things, because I was sent it early to have a look at and see what I thought of it and see if I could design around it. If you do buy the kit, one of the things I would suggest is when you're putting the hoop together, make yourself a cup of hot water and dip the ends of the hoop into the hot water to soften it, because where it gets cold it gets a bit tight, and it's literally dip it in a few seconds and then it squeezes together. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, so makes it really easy to put together. The pole down the bottom is really easy. I've gaffer taped the join where the hoop goes in, but I have spoken to GEMAR and said, can we extend the pole that goes in to give it a little bit more hold? All right, so we'll be watching this space to get the longer pole to go in. Okay, so this is it. They're on display here. There's lots of other beautiful kits that you can get. So if you have a look, they're really lovely. And these bases you just fill with water and they're nice and stable. So the design I'm going to do today, I thought we'd try using some of the modelling balloons, and the GEMAR sizes are D2s, which is a 1 inch, a D4, which is a 2 inch, and a D6, which is a 3 inch. They are the only brand that does shiny balloons in 1 inch, and it is like, yes, to use 1 inch, because you know what it's like when you're trying to do something intricate and the 2 inch is just a little bit too big. So it's absolutely brilliant. And the life of them, so I done a demo on Sunday using the 1 inch balloons and twisted some seahorses. They're in there. Now that was done Sunday, and the seahorses are still swimming. They're still alive. They've still got every part of them up. You can't hear. It's here. Oh, come round a bit. Yeah, so they're actually really sort of lasting a long time. So that's a really good thing. That's what I love about them. So I'm going to do a bamboo design. Right, so the colours that I've chosen are the shiny gold and the shiny rose gold, to try and get sort of a bamboo-y sort of colour effect. All right, so I'm going to walk down here now. I've put them into clusters of 8 because I found that it still gives you a nice thickness. I did try the 2 inch ones, but I felt they were a bit too clumpy for the style that I was trying to do. So instead of doing a smaller amount of 2 inches, I've used more 1 inches to get that nice line and that proportion and scale of how I want it to come round. So all I've done is I've clustered them into 8s and tied them on here. And what I'm going to do is just get one of these ready. They've got minds of their own, so tie on as you go round and then you can pull them through where you want them. All I'm using is one of the modelling balloons where I've taken the air out. Do you all know how to do that? Yeah? All know how to do that. always the third hand, isn't it? So that's just so I can hold it in place, and then I can move them around in a minute to where I want them. How nice are them two colours together, the gold and the... Because bamboo has got like all different colours, so when I researched bamboo, you can get green bamboo shoots, or you can get pinky ones, or beigey ones. So I thought, let's do it all in shiny. Let's add a bit of bling to it. I'll tie them ones off first. Right, so these ones are where I'm going to finish off on this one. So I'm just tying them on nice and tightly. This is where they start going bang on me. Is I've wrapped that bit because I want to tie them off to start the next one, and you don't want your balloons to go down, so I'm just gently tying them off and knotting them to secure them. I do twist a little bit. I never claimed to be a twister. I was always hopeless at it. I cringe when I do it because I'm trying to do it popping, but I'm getting more and more used to these balloons now, so. It's so lovely that we're using modelling balloons in decor now. You can get so many different, even though you're using the same material, balloon material, you're creating a different texture. So it's a different visual texture. And what makes a design really good is the contrasting visual textures. So you can use the same material, but you're creating, like a round balloon will be a bumpy. This looks like a smooth sort of texture. So it's just contrasting them textures together. I'm going to put this on the bottom. Sorry? Oh. So she's asking me a question. So all I'm doing here is I'm bringing the 4 in. If you've got room to twist them around each other, you can. If not, just tie them on. And then again, you can just tie that on for speed. Oh, that one's gone down. Thank you. My hands aren't big enough to hold it. Which is why if you use this just to tie them to keep them in place for the time being, you can then move the balloons. Because I don't know about you, but my hand's quite tiny and it's hard to grip hold, so. Should be telling me off afterwards. Like it takes a bit of time, but if you was doing this as organic, it's probably the same amount of time. Scissors. I always like it sounding like fireworks. That'll hide that one that's gone down. So it's just a case of getting them on first, and then you can move around afterwards. So you're just securing them on at the moment. So let's just get the last ones. But this is the bit where I might struggle a bit. Got a dodgy hip, so the thing is, if it depends on what you're trying to make it look like. So sometimes I know we all try and work towards perfection, but it's like we're trying to do bamboo. Bamboo isn't perfect. It grows wobbly and not always dead straight. So don't panic too much about when you're doing it. They don't have to be ruler straight, all right? Too much Weetabix, I broke that one. Got 2 gone down there, so I'm going to just add a couple more in at the end. So all I've done here is 2 pinch twists on the end of a 1 inch. Bringing it round. twisting it and then twisting into the pinch twists. Let's push that in there. Then I've just done 3 hoop petals. I've done them in 2 different colours. So I've got the olivey colour and the lime green, and you can just twist them in as like little leaves. Another thing is, elements and principles of design. What you're trying to do is keep the interest within your design. So you want to make sure that your lines are radiating the eye through the design. So here, even if this was an arch, I wouldn't have everything poking out the top like the London Wheel on firework night. Yeah? What you would do is you perhaps would alternate it, so you're zigzagging through, and that makes the eye move through the design rather than going away from it. So let's put an olive one here to mix the colours. So once I've put this on, you'll see how the eye will be taken from there to there. Yeah, so if I put that on that side, the eye is kept on the outside of the design instead of bringing it in. So there's loads of information. If you Google search elements and principles of design, there's loads of reading material on it. $2.60. Does anyone twist? Do you know what pinch twist is? Yeah? So I'm doing this one with a 2-inch, just to come around here to fill the gap. So literally I'm tying it off. And a pinch twist is where you make a bubble twist, and then you're going to fold that bubble in half and pull it into the twist you've just done. Yeah? And then you're going to do the second one. And twist it in. What you can also do, in certain areas you can make thicker bands, so you can just add a 160 either side of it to make it slightly thicker. I'll go around cutting the ends off at the end. Tilting. any of you use modelling balloons a lot in your decor? So always rounds?
Not so much twisting.
Yes. Thing is, they make such lovely lines of movement in your design, so it's really worth thinking about when you're... Thank you. You can see it from there, I can't. If anyone's interested, if you go over to the BAPIA stand and you take your photograph of yourself on the stand, and then if you post it on your social media and tag and hashtag BAPIA party, you'll be entered into a draw to win a year's free membership. And with all the benefits that BAPIA are offering, it's worth it. This is the bit where you can't wait to pretty it up. Does any of you put fresh floral materials into your designs? You use the artificial? So what do you do? Do you sell it into the design, or do you hire the fresh florals, the artificials out? Both. Okay, so when we get around to doing the fresh florals, I'll explain why I use fresh florals. Because how much do you pay for a stem of artificial? And what you'll find is the prices of fresh floral is so much more cost effective, so that you can get the right price for your design. Because I mean, some of the garlands, you're talking £10, aren't you, for a garland? Where if you've done fresh florals, it probably cost you something like £2. So the difference is you can sell it into the design rather than have to go back and collect them. One of the things I would highly recommend is if you've done training in balloon decor, even to learn basic twists, and then that way when you're doing your, some people call them bouquets or marquees or stacks, you can start introducing some of the twisting techniques in. Right, 2 more to put on and then we can start prettying it. Can you see how I'm positioning these ones randomly around? They're not all in a line with each other. The one that you really want to look at when you're using it in your design is pampas grass, because it literally is dead straight, and try and avoid poking them out, because all you're doing is taking it away from the design. And if it's a photo opportunity and people are standing in front, the photo is just taking it out to the sides rather than bringing it into the person. Right, so it's all them things you need to think about when you're designing. The ones that have gone down a bit I'll replace at the end, alright? And I'll tidy it up before you get a photograph of it. Let's just get some of these. questions if you want, I don't mind. Oops. Cleansing. That's better. Give it a tug. If in doubt, tug it. Just get them done. I'll finish that off in a minute. So let's get the panda. If you've got any questions about distortion, feel free to come over to the BAPIA stand afterwards, all right? One panda. And go in his foot. So I'm going to turn him in a bit. So he's facing inward slightly and he's looking down at his mate. Where's my uke? Gemma, I hope you got Hoover. So if you're using fresh florals, so this whole bunch has cost me £5. So when you divide that out per stem, and look how big one stem is, so you could create a really nice floral. When you're adding florals in, even if it's a flower, don't just add one little bit here, one little bit there, one little bit there. It's better to have a big clump just in one area because it has more of an impact. This one is eucalyptus and you get different strains of it. So this one has got a really fine leaf, and the reason I chose this, I couldn't find bamboo stems, and when I looked at the bamboo, it's the same shaped leaf as the bamboo, so So again, I'm thinking of my lines of movement coming down. I normally stand back, but I'd be pulling my string too far if I come back. Before I add the florals in there, I will tidy it up, but I have only got 40 minutes, so I will tidy it up and add the florals in afterwards, and then you can always come back. I'll leave it here if you want to. And then I'm going to cut, so can you see I'm bringing the line in here, bringing the florals that way, and then I'm going to bring the line back through here towards the panda. And what that's doing is you've got two focal areas in this design. This is a heavy focal area. So if you turned around and looked, your eye would probably go there. So you have to radiate everything from your focal area and keep the eye moving round. If I poked it up there, can you see how the eye is taken away from the design? Yet if I had done it here, it's coming into the design. Does that make sense? So you can put ones in there as well. So like you can come between the bamboo to, yeah, so you're adding your florals to it. And can you see I'm not just doing little bits around, I'm clumping them together, yeah, because you get more of an impact. So what I'm going, oh, I better put the leaves on. See, and also repetitive unity. You're creating rhythm through your design using shapes and colours, forms. So what we've done here, we've got the lime green going through, but can you see how it zigzags all the way through the design? Hence why I'm alternating the lime greens, and I'm alternating she said the olive greens as well coming through. All right, so you're bringing your shapes and your forms all the way through. So the other thing is, when you're choosing fresh florals to use against your balloons, do your research. So if you was doing a jungle theme, let's say, you wouldn't be choosing daisies to go in your design. Yeah, you want it to be apt with what you're doing. So here, this is eucalyptus, which is really a koala or Australia, but the shape of it is like bamboo. Right, it's like the bamboo leaf. So do research as to what fits your design. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to be tidying up, cutting all the odd edges off, replacing the ones that have gone down, and then if you've got any questions, please feel free to come up and ask. I will be back at the BAPIA stand, but if anyone is interested, these amazing water bottles that are reusable, and once you've finished it, you can fold it up and put it in your toolbox. If you go over to the BAPIA stand, say, Angie sent me from her display, can I have a water bottle please? And you'll be handed a water bottle. They're brilliant, and they hook onto your belt. Do you have any questions whilst I'm tidying it up? You don't have to stay and watch me tidying, so I'm just gonna. You want to watch every move? You always do, though.